So what do you call yourself? Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Hey.
Hey, what can I do for you this fine day?
This is your destiny. Hot, hot, hot.
Right now.
Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Kick it.
Come on in and enjoy yourself.
Right now.
We gon' party like no one else. Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the LaTangela Show podcast. It does my heart well to have this time together. I almost feel like I got to do the little ear tug. If you know, you know, right? You never know who's going to be in the hot seat or on the tan line. But I'll tell you this, I've got questions that need answers. And today we're going to chop it up. We're going to chat with the chief of the BRPD. He was here not too long ago and promised that he would come back to give us our updates and to answer questions. And he's a man of his word. Chief Morse is back in the hot seat and on the tan line. And we have a lot going on. From the completion of his first 100 days, we'll chat about some of the obstacles and even some of the highlights, some of the programs that's being offered for the youth this summer, and recruitment. There are a lot of jobs available. And I want to put this in the won't ads. I'm going to help you get this job to help serve our community. And of course, I think it's a lot of information that we're not privy to. Now, you know, there are a lot of things stemming around in some gray areas when it comes down to St. George. And what does that look like? Does that now put a strain on our protection when it comes from BRPD? Or are you doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that? Like, we don't know, but we'll get clearer understanding today. So be sure to keep it locked. I got all of the details coming up for you. Some other things that's making headline news for all of the right reasons. Thank you for all of your nominations that's rolling through at 225bulletinboard.com. I've partnered with none other than Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, where Gordon gives and Tan cares. Our way of giving back, saying thank you, partnering with a lot of nonprofit organizations, community stakeholders, and with the 225 Bulletin Board, we're highlighting the teachers and all of the support team members that's paying it forward and nurturing the future and the present with our students on a day-to-day basis. If you know of one that you would like to nominate, 225bulletinboard.com. Place the nominations today. 225bulletinboard.com. We select 2 winners each month, and both they receive $250 each. And with that, they also receive some spaces on our billboards to say thank you. Just a token of our appreciation. We see what you're doing, and we cannot do this without you. So I got more details listed for you on that at latangela.com. So make sure that you're checking in. Now, when it comes down to this random research, fellas, I'm here to put you up on game today. What is it that the ladies really need from you in a good relationship? Be a good listener. Be a good listener. Guys, if dating has you down, it's probably because you have not put on your listening ears. Women like it when a man listens. Recognition is one of the basic needs of every human being. So, you know, it's not too far-fetched for you to ask for that. You can show a woman that you hear, understand, and value what she's saying by nodding, smiling, and even asking questions like to follow up. Oh, you want me to ask questions to follow up? See how easy that is? See what I'm saying? Yeah, you got it. I'm just here to help. Don't worry about it. I'm just trying to help. I'm seeing a lot of the I would say tweets, but it's X's at this point. Not X's as in the X's in relationships, but X, the new Twitter. I know a lot of the nominations are coming through with that, and I'm saying right now, they hit me up at LaTangela Fay, and I want you to log on and check that out too. Now, once you get there, all bets are off. I'm seeing people give me random research left and right. Like, I got this new article that just came through on the sarcasm detector. Have you heard about that? Yes, it's really a thing. Can you tell if someone is even being sarcastic with you? Yeah, chances are you can. Well, if you can't, there's now a computer that can. A sarcasm detector that really knows when someone is being sarcastic was created by scientists, because surely that's a necessity. That's what you're wasting my time, effort, and money on? A sarcasm detector? And I'm not being sarcastic when I ask that. Like, that's for real, for real. Dutch researchers have developed an algorithm that say it's capable of identifying sarcasm by examining multiple aspects of audio recordings for increased accuracy. When you're being sarcastic, there are tiny modulations in your voice. You don't say. Did you hear that? That modulation wasn't so tiny, but you felt it. I know you did. When it comes down to vacation, we all need a getaway. Maybe down the street, maybe up the block, maybe way across the country, but questions that need answers. Do you think about your next vacation while you're still on vacation? It's that serious. 1 in 5 Americans is always thinking about planning their next vacation while on vacation. A survey of over 2,000 adults who travel also found 1 in 5 want to be on vacation again the day they get back. Calgon, take me away. Do they still sell Calgon? Now I gotta go on aisle 3 and check it out. Just, do they? I haven't seen the commercials in a while. Okay. So there's this new slang that's going around right now. Fax, no printer. Have you heard it? I haven't. And this was the first time I caught wind of it. And I was like, let me just put this out there to see if your teenager is walking around yelling, fax, no printer, which has absolutely nothing to do with the old school technology. Fax, no printer is another way of the teens now saying truth. I agree with what you just said. And being that I agree with you so much, I would send it via fax without needing to print it out. Who had the time to come up with that? And who sat there to justify and validate? Like, y'all got to do better. I mean it, like, for real. If you're planning a road trip this summer, I got a couple of tips for you. Make sure that you pack the snacks. And I'm not just saying because they're going to get hungry, but because it gets aggravating. When you're riding, and I'm not even going to say with the kids, because even when you're riding with me, I'm trying to figure out, are we there yet? Next 10 minutes. Are we there yet? Next 5 minutes. Are we there? You got snacks? Well, listen, according to random research, every 30 minutes, parents are pulling over to get their kids some snacks. They say just make sure that you pack some healthy snacks for the ride and make sure that they're accessible for the kids so you don't have to stop every 2 to 10 minutes to hand it to them. Okay, simple enough. If you're thinking about going golfing, I have something new for you that you're probably not familiar with. If you're planning on playing a few holes, think about this. Beer drinking, according to random research, is good for your golf game. Golfers call beer swing oil. Did you know that? I did not know that. And it's not just them thinking it. It's not just in their heads. It's not just in their imagination. This swing oil, they say that, emphasis on little alcohol while you're playing golf. It helps to decrease your anxiety and it helps you concentrate. Swing responsibly. The more you know, the more you know. If you're planning that summer wedding, I know one of the top tier things that you have to have, the flowers. A lot of us think that the flowers are there just for the beauty, just for the tradition. But did you know, according to random research, the big floral thing popped up in the 1500s, and not because they were pretty, but because they wanted to hide and mask the smell of people. I didn't know that, and it's still kind of out for the jury here or there, but flowers were originally used at weddings to cover the bad smell of people in the 1500s. That's when people bathed, according to them, once a year in the month of May. So the reason June is the best month to have your wedding is because that's when people, according to them, smelled better than any other time of the year. Okay, that's different. That's different. Bring out the tulips. I'm going to need those. Well, who am I kidding? I'm going to hit the justice of the peace as soon as I find me one. Hello, somebody. I want you to keep it locked. I got more random research on the way. And of course, we're going to check in with Chief Morse of the BRPD. I want you to chime in. If you would like to be a guest, all you have to do is submit your information at LaTangela.com.
Get your vocal warm-ups in.
Don't you have to do your vocal warm-ups too?
I took care of them out in the car.
What were they like?
Little self-meditation.
Okay.
It's mostly internal for me.
Okay. Well, I like that. Sometimes you just got to get what you need done. It's the voice inside your speaker box, and welcome back to another episode of the LaTangela Show podcast. It does my heart well to have none other than Chief Morse in the building. How are you?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to be back, because I know that things have been super busy for you. As the police chief of the BRPD, you have completed the first 100 days. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It was a whirlwind. It went by really fast. Part of me is like, I can't believe, it's been 5 months now, but then part of me is also like, well, a lot got done.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
A combination of the two.
And have you had enough time to really just sit and realize that this is real?
Yes, it's soaking in more and more, getting over first couple months. It took a little bit of time to, pitching myself and walking in and reminding myself I'm the chief now.
Yeah.
But it has started sinking in. More meetings I go to and the more things that I'm doing, and actually getting to sit in my office and take care of things I want to take care of inside the department. Which
is very important. Last time you were here, you were telling us that some of the challenges is that you can't spread yourself far enough, fast enough, because so many of the meetings you want to attend, you want to be able to sit and have conversations and get into the public to say, hey, what's going on? What's important to you? Let's have these one-on-ones. But you've also curated this episode to where they can actually chat with the chief.
Yes. So it's something that I'm proud that we created. I actually stole a page out of the mayor's handbook. She's been doing it for a while. I was very interested in it. So doing chat with the chief program. It's on our website, brpd.com. Lower right-hand corner. You just click on it. Quick form to fill out. Hey, who you are. If you're part of an organization, if you want me to come talk to your organization, if you want to bring your organization to my office, to our real-time crime center, just let me know what you want to talk about, and I can have the appropriate people. If you want to talk about IA complaints, I'll have my IA commander in there. If you want to talk about crime in your area, I'll have the appropriate district commander there so we can talk about those things.
That's good to know. And I know you've had a lot of challenges, a lot of those obstacles, but if you had to select some of the highlights, let's go through the highlights. Pick a couple of highlights as the police chief in the first 100 days.
So some of the highlights are definitely, I very quickly made the decision I wanted to meet with all the employees of the Baton Rouge Police Department. It's about 900 when you count the civilians and non-sworn and, everything from fingerprint techs to dispatchers, and then of course all our officers. And I've been able to do that mostly. I've met with all the divisions, missed some people that maybe had vacation those days, but I'm going to have a makeup day for those employees. But I've been able to get out and talk to the men and women of the Baton Rouge Police Department, and that's been very rewarding for me. Coming from the training academy, I already knew all the officers, but being able to talk to them now as chief and then to be able to tell me, hey, this is what we would like to see fixed, this is the direction we would like to go, has been great. And then I've also been out in the community. They were telling me, I think, well over 100 events I've done in this past, months.
Wow.
Going and just talking to all the people at their places and spaces and the meetings. It's been really good.
Yeah. And, statistically, when the summer months begin to heat up, so do the streets. A lot is going on. So it's important that you have your ear to the streets and that you have that one-on-one time with those who are out to protect and serve us on the day in and day out, right along with you. And to know the things that are concerning them as well as concerning the citizens, it's important. For the summer months, what are some of the things that you and your team are preparing for in order to make sure that we're having a safe summer?
Yeah, so it's a combination of things. We're definitely ramping up our enforcement, and we got some programs to do that. Teaming up with some of our federal partners, state partners, as well as just overtime money that the mayor's office has approved for us to do for enforcement. But it goes beyond that. We can't just police our way to all our problems. We also have to have resources, and we have to have options for the young people to do.
Right.
So we are hosting our own summer camp connection, partnering with Councilman Hurst up in District 5. We're also with BREC, with the 100 Black Men, with the Boys and Girls Club, YMCA, a bunch of different organizations out there that are having summer programs, and we want to make sure that we're a part of that.
And that's important because, you see so many of these young adults, so many of the youth that's out and about throughout the summer, and the idle hands definitely has been known to be the devil's workshop, and statistically proven when the summer months get hotter, I'm not sure what clicks, what triggers, but it does. And to be able to see that and to bring resources and partnering with those who are elected officials that's going to not only say we have an issue, but allow you the resources to say, let's partner up and go into those high crime areas. Let's go into those areas where we know the kids are and really need the help. How do you identify that with the parents to say, we're here and that we want you to be a part of the program as well?
Yeah, so I think it's just getting that trust and being in the same places. If we can get our officers and the community members in the same space, when someone didn't call 911, that is ideal. So we want to be able to build that trust. So, hey, we're not just here to arrest people. We're also here to give out some help and be that voice. We need to start connecting with these young people earlier and earlier because they're committing crimes earlier and earlier. We're arresting 14 and 15-year-olds for homicide, and that's not acceptable. So we need to give them other avenues where they can put themselves to work and see that they don't have to go down these other paths.
Now, do you have any programs available to where maybe it's a pipeline for young adults who are graduating high school or between college or just trying to figure it out to introduce them into the life of law enforcement? Maybe they want to be a part of the force because, you know, when we were in school, raise your hand in third grade. What is that you want to be when you grow up? Kids used to raise their hands and say a policeman or a fireman, you know, to really ignite that for them.
Yes, of course. We have a program, and you can visit our recruiting website is GEAUXBRPD.com. But we have a cadet program for those kids that are 14 to 18 or 13 to 18, somewhere in that age range.
Teenagers.
Yeah, and then also, so that we have cadets, and then we also have, so that's for the explorers, and then we have cadets that are 18 to 20.
Okay.
Because you have to be 21 to be a police officer for Baton Rouge Police Department. So we definitely have those pipelines for the explorers and the cadets. They can get that behind the scenes look of what it means to be a police officer, get some community service hours in, we'll go and hang out with our detectives and they can figure out what kind of police officer they want to be.
I like that. You know, these are programs that I haven't heard of before, right? And to know that the kids, they're here and they want those options and they may be hungry for an outlet, but they may not know who to ask or how to ask. And God knows just talking to the cops ain't the thing to do sometimes, you know? So thank you for being here to give us this information because it is important. And once they log on to gobrpd.com, they can get all of the info. That's GEAUXBRPD.com. We've recently had some changes come about. St. George has been making headline news. Everyone has so many questions, limited on the answers. But what does that look like for St. George and our BRPD? Like, does that put a strain or does it impact our department at all, and how?
So it's real early to tell exactly what's going to be happening with that. The city parishes and still conversations, but it's not going to affect our police department from a point of the resources or the calls for service that we're gonna have to handle, or the area we have to patrol. The St. George area, the new city of St. George was all unincorporated area that we were not responsible for. So the services that we have to provide and the calls that we have to handle are not going to be affected whatsoever.
Okay. And you know, there's just so many gray areas right now with everything being so fresh and moving so fast for some that may not have been privy to the information. And I know that right now we're in the process of recruiting for BRPD. We're looking for those who want to be a part of the force because as of right now, we're still kind of behind on making sure that we have adequate amounts. So what does that look like for us in our current state?
Yeah, so we're still shorthanded. It's not a secret, depending on how exactly you look at the numbers, funded versus unfunded positions, but around 100 officers, maybe a little bit less. That we're shorthanded. So we're definitely always recruiting. We're trying to run two basic academies a year, 2 lateral academies, which are for officers that are already certified, other departments, work at other departments to come over. We have one going right now. We have a lateral academy that'll be starting in a few weeks. And then we're already recruiting and taking applications for our next academy, which will be running at the end of this year or January.
I love it. So you know what? I might as well just put this in the won't ads. I want you to get this job. What are some of the qualifications? Let's just say, I know they got to be 21 and older.
Yes, so 21 and older.
A heart to serve.
High school diploma, GED, but then it goes beyond that. Of course, law enforcement is definitely a calling. It's not just another job you get. It's a career path. But it's a great career path, especially for the Baton Rouge Police Department. I always say that our department is a great size, that is small enough that it still feels like family, but it's big enough that you have a lot of room for advancement and movement around. If you want to go work in crime scene or a detective division or our dive team or with our horses or our SWAT, K9, we have so many different avenues that you could go work and still be in that same law enforcement career.
Yeah. Now, what does training look like?
So the training, we host our own training academy, which was really good because we can train people not what the state requires, but what we require as a Baton Rouge police officer. We go above what the state requires in our training, whereas this almost double the hours that the state actually requires. You get paid while you're in the training academy.
Okay, talk to me now.
You get paid to go to school.
Talk to me now.
It's a
benefits. I get benefits.
22-week program. And then after that, you're with another officer in the field training officer program for about 6 months. So it's about a year of training overall before you're ready to get out on the streets by yourself.
Okay, let me ask you a tougher question. What would you say? I mean, because you know all about this training situation. You know all about it. Chief, what has been one of the most challenging parts of that training within that year?
I think the biggest is just the shell shock. It's a lot, we're trying to change not who somebody is personality wise, because you need to stay true to who you are. Everybody has their why, and we tell them you need to hold on to your why. Yeah. Why did you want to become a police officer in the first place? Hold on to that. But it's a lot thrown at you at once. It's kind of a combination of military boot camp and junior level college courses that you go through for those 22 weeks, learning everything from law and probable cause reasonable suspicion to de-escalation training and dealing with the mentally ill and just everything that you can think of, and a lot of things that most people don't think of when it comes to training to be a police officer. It's
a lot, but you know what? I know that we have so many that are able and that may be willing. So if you want to find out more information, go BRPD.com. Again, that's GEAUX, BRPD.com. Come on in, get this job as your manager. I'll need 8 to 9 percentages.
And our cadets also, so that there's 18 to 20-year-olds, 18 to 21, we actually pay it's a full-time job to be a cadet. So you getting out of high school, not 21 yet, can't be a police officer, but you can come work full-time job as a cadet, and that works up towards you becoming a police officer with us in that pipeline. And then we're hiring for other positions as well, fingerprint techs, dispatchers. We're hiring for CIU, a lot of different jobs that you can have within the department. If you're like, I don't want to be out there on the streets, but I do want to help, and I want to serve. We have a lot of different avenues.
That is wonderful information to know. See, that's why I need you in the hot seat and on the tan line more often. Whenever you have time, I want you to think of this as an extension of your office, because you all have so much going on. And if there's anything that we can do to pull the community together, just say the word.
No, I appreciate that. One of my main goals since being chief is really just showing how great our officers are and the work that they do every day. We're able to highlight some of that work recently. Probably on the news, we had an officer that delivered a baby on the side of the road.
Yeah, that's my boy. Go ahead. Look, Dr. J. Look at this point.
We had another officer that went up on the Mississippi River Bridge and was able to pull. The woman was on the other side of the guardrail about to jump.
Wow.
She was able to talk to that woman for a little bit, and then was able to grab her and pull her over to the other side of the guardrail.
That's a blessing.
We had another officer that applied some tourniquets and chest seal and saved the life of a gunshot victim.
Yeah.
On down to an officer that was off duty and gave medical aid to an elderly woman who fell off the curb and busted her teeth all out of her mouth. So we have officers every day doing great things. And one of my main goals is to highlight them and show them off to the community of how great the men and women of the Baton Rouge Police Department.
They definitely go above and beyond. And that just, spoke volumes of every single day. Your job looks completely different.
A lot of different hats. A lot of different hats they wear.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank y'all so much to you, your team. Anyone who wants to join, please log on right now. Go BRPD.com. Again, that's GEAUX, BRPD.com. Get the information. And I look forward to having you back real soon. Chat with the chief. He also has that link. Submit all of your questions, because we got questions that need answers.
Give them to me. Give them to me.
All right. These microphones are hot. I know you got more work to do, so I'm going to let you chase the sun or let the sun chase you.
Yes,
but either way, get after it. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Thank you.